What's going on, YouTube? Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast Talking Auburn Football. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Auburn just finishing up a very historic Iron Bowl, defeating Alabama 48-44. Now, when I did my prediction earlier this week, strangely enough, I thought that Auburn would beat Alabama 28-24, but it actually turned out a lot different. But guys, we can't say enough about this Auburn football team and their resiliency and their ability to stay in football games, their ability to continue to fight, continue to create opportunities for themselves, even without Tua Tagovailoa. I thought this was a dangerous Alabama team, and it showed. Devin Waddell had probably the most, unlikely of performances in this particular football game, but you have to, you got to take your hats off to these Auburn Tigers for setting the tone for what the future of Auburn could look like, especially under Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix grew up a lot tonight. He stayed in the football game. He made the right decisions, and I really like how he's progressed throughout the season, having an opportunity to, actually give this Auburn team a chance to have a 10-win season with arguably one of the toughest schedules in all of college football. I think you got to give your hats off. Also, a lot of folks are not, just head over heels in love with Gus Malzahn, but you got to give it to him tonight. He kept his team engaged in this football game. There was plenty of adversity. He fought for all the calls. He did everything possible that a head coach needs to do to keep their team involved in a very tough game, in a very hostile situation with some of the fastest wide receivers in the country. My hat goes off to Gus Malzahn. I haven't agreed this year with a lot of what he's done throughout the season, but it has turned out that Bo Nix is turning into what could possibly be one of the better quarterbacks in the nation next year. You talk about Auburn with a very favorable schedule. Their first game against a team that will more than likely at least appear in a New Year's Six Bowl will come in the middle of the season against Georgia. Now, they have some very manageable games along the way to begin the season. You talk about a start against Alcorn State. Then I think they trip to Atlanta to the kickoff classic against North Carolina Tar Heels. So Auburn has a good situation going on to start the season next year. Also, to recap, getting off to a great start with recruiting. Got Zackevius Walker out of Schley County in Georgia just the other night. I think Auburn is, this is the perfect way to end you show that progression. And that's something when you talk about a head football coach that is in trouble, their teams don't progress. They get recruits dropping. They don't believe in the program anymore. But that's not even close to what Auburn has going on under Gus Malzahn. I thought this was a great maturity from a coaching maturity standpoint from Gus Malzahn. His team, his coaching staff continues to believe in him and what he's trying to accomplish at Auburn. And I like I said before, hats off to Auburn beating the number 5 team in the country, Alabama, going toe-to-toe to defense. I knew it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you all right now. I knew that there was going to be a football game where the Auburn defense was going to be in trouble, and I thought this was it. I thought our Auburn secondary was completely outclassed by some of the best wide receivers in the country who will be playing football on Sundays. Devin Waddell, fast. Ruggs, fast. Jerry Jeudy, fast. I know I'm leaving one. Devontae Smith. These guys are world-class, first-class wide receivers who will be making a whole lot of bread on Sunday whenever their time is up at Alabama. Big shout out also to Tua Tagovailoa to continue to stay engaged. I appreciate the super chat. To continue to stay engaged with his particular football team, showing incredible leadership. I mean, you can't take that away from Tua Tagovailoa, showing incredible leadership offering his support on the field, continuing to go through a very I would imagine a very traumatizing time in his young life, and facing the possibility of, not ever playing football again. So I just, it's just an all around good game for the rivalry. You talk about it now. A lot of you folks may not know this, but in the past 30 years, um, you know, hang on, I'm gonna give someone's trying to figure out if I'm on yet. I told him to click on the notifications so that he can get on. Big shout out to my frat brother Brian Allen, who's trying to get up on this thing. But anyway, like I said before, Tua Tagovailoa, just a world-class football player, a class act, a very good human being, sticking by his teammates, showing his loyalty to Alabama. There's really no reason for him not to. So big shout out to Tua Tagovailoa. Congratulations to Alabama on yet another, just another double-digit win season. I did say at the beginning of the year, though, that out of all the seasons under the Nick Saban era, that this would probably be one of the first times in a long time that that Alabama would lose multiple games in the season, and that turned out to be so. And another thing we just absolutely have to mention in this very close ball game, this very historic football game, though, for Alabama and Auburn, that saw Alabama and Auburn combined score 48 points in the second quarter. I thought that was absolutely amazing, especially considering that a lot of us thought that this would be a defensive battle. I had Auburn winning 28-24, 20 plus points later. You got Auburn winning 48-44. So, I mean, I was just 20 points below you know what? Y'all got to give me some props, man. I was actually pretty good on these predictions this year. Just kind of missed it by a little bit. Like I said before, I definitely appreciate that, Whitey Panda. And hey, you know what? We're just now getting started. The work is just now getting started. We got recruiting that we got to talk about. We got the Auburn basketball team to talk about. Auburn's baseball team is on to something. We have to talk about Allen Green right before we get to talking about Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson and Daniel Thomas and all of these seniors who laid it all out on the line. Big shout out to my fraternity brother and, diehard Georgia fan, always supporting what we do here on Vernon Speak Sports. As a matter of fact, this particular gentleman has been around supporting me ever since I was doing the same thing on Facebook a couple of years ago and being consistent, and finally decided to jump out on a limb and take this thing to YouTube. But like I said before, I think Allen Green is on to something as athletic director at Auburn. He's got two teams in the top 25 in college football wise. I think that this is a situation where, appreciate the super chat again. I think this is a situation where Auburn, really starts to solidify themselves as a somewhat elite program and really start to get that. See, when you're trying to build a brand, you have to have that national perception. And I think what's happening is, everybody gets that perception as what the brand looks like. And I think Gus Malzahn is starting to find that niche as far as what he wants Auburn's brand to look like. I think they have to continue to do the right thing as far as, recruiting good wide receivers, good offensive linemen, especially doing the right thing as far as creating a great culture of defensive linemen, because I think Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson are definitely going to be high picks in the NFL draft. That just adds to, your just adds to the brand, adds to your ability to put guys in the league, because ultimately at the surface, that's what these guys want to do. And let's talk about real quick. Oh yeah, Hound Dog. I appreciate you, man. I actually met Hound Dog over on another channel. I think I was doing some commenting over there on the Late Kick. My man Late Kick over there, man, he's got a wonderful show. Y'all need to check him out if you haven't. I know most of my subscribers are, most of my subscribers are also subscribed to the Late Kick. You got to check him out. I'm pretty sure that he's got some great things going on. I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Cagle. Jeremy Cagle has actually been very supportive, especially in the beginning before before I came over here to YouTube while I was still on Facebook. So, like I said before, I think Gus Malzahn is on to something big. I think Marlon Davidson is really going to be a huge pick. As a matter of fact, hold on, my daughter has actually snuck down here. Now she wants to play on the drums. Y'all give me just a second. Don't go anywhere. We're still doing this thing. The live stream right after the Auburn Alabama game. My daughter has kind of come down here and wants to be a part of the action. She's about to get the drum set going. So I am going to give you all just about 25 seconds, maybe a minute, and I'm gonna be right back. Hang on, because she's about ready to get loose. Come on, Goop. I know. Yeah. No. I'm still Yes, sir. Yeah, I told her the whole lot like that. All right, guys, I do apologize for that, man. My daughter came down here and she was about ready to bum rush the party here. We're talking Auburn football. Auburn definitely in a great position, have an opportunity to win 9 games. We still got some folks in the comment section that think Gus Malzahn should go. I don't know about all that. We're not, even, we're not even going to get into all that. I think you can't. All the coaches that are being fired because there's no future under these coaches. Auburn actually has the opportunity to have a future, perhaps, under Gus Malzahn. Now, here's the thing. Even if you look at this season, Gus Malzahn, you really have no tangible reason to fire him. In all of the games against the top 5 teams that he's played, even in this game, playing lights out for the most part, got a little luck there, but you got to have some luck sometimes. But like I said, Auburn definitely spoiled Alabama's chance at a college football playoff. Also, really, really gaining some ground possibly in the recruiting realm. And I just really, really, really think that you got to give Gus Malzahn credit for what they were able to, accomplish this year. 9-3, very unthinkable. We're going to see who Auburn winds up against in the bowl game. I'm very excited about, usually as a fan, I'm excited about, the win per se, but I'm looking at the big picture here. This is a huge game perception-wise for Auburn. It's one of those games that Auburn usually don't win, and it leaves that sour taste in your mouth. But this is the one where Auburn actually seal the deal. We got some more content coming, especially the season obviously is not over. We got to wait around and see who. We just stole Zacchaeus Walker, man. Like I said, I think this is a huge win for Auburn. I think they managed the game very well. Auburn has learned some things throughout the season as far as how to get at. They were getting out coached in a lot of ways in these big games, and Auburn absolutely won the deal tonight. And also, before I leave, it would be a huge discredit if I don't pay homage to these seniors who came back. These seniors who believed in the Auburn brand enough to come back at the risk of being injured, however, wound up winning. As a matter of fact, wound up winning the lifelong battle because you look at you look at Derek Brown, Marlon Davidson. I think that those guys gave themselves an opportunity to earn a little bit more money than they might have last year. Their stock definitely went up. And Kenneth Newblair says Saban blew the game. Nah, yeah. I mean, what's going on, man? Appreciate you, NMD TV. You know, we're just gonna enjoy the win. Whether Saban blew it, whether Devin Waddell blew it, I mean, it is what it is. But these seniors who have come back and put it all on the line, played lights out every week, gave their full measure of devotion every week. You got to give it up to those guys. You're talking about Marlon Davidson, Derek Brown, Daniel Thomas, Jeremiah Denson, guys that have been around the program for quite some time, laying it on the line, showing that leadership, setting the blueprint of what Auburn could potentially look like down the road. As you know, like I said before, Auburn right now has the number 8 recruiting class in the country. The recruit by Zacchaeus Walker didn't help the ratings that much, but it did help with quality. I like those 95s, those 96% guys, because hey, I really, really think that's how you build a roster, especially in the SEC, building that depth. I really think that Auburn is definitely onto something. Huge win over Alabama. That's 2 out of the last. Actually, that's 3 out of the last 4, I think. 5. Yeah, 3 out of the last 5. And whether a lot of you guys like to realize this or not, when you look at this rivalry, I want to say in modern times, since 1989 to now, Alabama is 16-15. The rivalry is dead even. So War Eagle, I want you guys to sleep on that tonight. Big win for Auburn over Alabama, 48-45. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. The live stream after the Iron Bowl. I know you guys probably want to look at that LSU versus Texas A&M game. The content will not stop. We got, SEC championship coverage. We also going to talk about some recruiting and the Auburn basketball team. So it's still going to be an everyday thing here on Vernon Speaks Sports. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, as you see, you got a couple of folks that have donated via Super Chat. Just go outside of the chat. There's a little $ at the bottom. If you want to contribute to the channel, great. If not, I love your comments as well. You all take it easy and good night. War Eagle.